Good afternoon, guys. Today we'll be reading out of Mark chapter 1, and we're going to go verses 21 through 28. So like always, if you haven't read it, go ahead and read it if you need to. Start the video and read. So I also got some announcements to make. August 11th from 4 to 8, that's a Saturday at Tomahawk Christian Church, there'll be a water day. This is for kids, kindergarten through 5th grade, but if you're a little bit older, come enjoy it if you want to. There'll be free food, and there'll be a movie that night too. And hopefully it doesn't rain. And then just listen up for any kind of backup plan after that one. Okay? So August 18th, for grades 6th through 12th grade, we're going to a Hagerstown Suns game at 5:30. Meet me at the box office at 5:30, and here's why. We had somebody generously pay for half your tickets. Now, tickets cost $10, but this person's willing to pay half of that. So your ticket would only cost $5. So $5 baseball game, can't beat that. Hagerstown Suns in Hagerstown, Maryland. At Municipal Stadium, the stadium, at 5:30. Meet me at the box office. Game starts at 6. So, once again, if you're running late, just pay the whole fare, and I'll probably give you $5. Just to say thank you for coming. Anyway, bring your money to the box office. You want to buy food there? That's up to you. Want to buy stuff there? Up to you. Bring money for that. Bring sunscreen. It might be warm. If it rains, then it's just canceled. All right. And something I'm super duper excited about. Sunday, August 19th at 11 o'clock, while the adults are having their worship service upstairs, grades 6th through 12th grade will be down in the Tomahawk Christian Church basement, which I'm calling the tent. I just got a ping pong table too, guys. So come enjoy some games. I got an Xbox down there. I got some stuff. Some fun stuff we can do right before we get into worship. I got my friend Andy coming do some worship songs, and I'll be leading a little Bible study as well that Sunday morning. So that Sunday morning, August 19th at 11 o'clock, down in the TCC basement, which we're going to call the tent. And come and see what we're calling the tent. It actually kind of parallels with my Bible study. So, anyway, those are his announcements. Water Day, August 11th from 4 to 8. Hagerstown Suns games 5:30 until the end of the game, $5 plus food if you need to buy it. And August 19th, 11 o'clock a.m., 6th through 12th grades, a service. Okay, baseball games also 6th through 12th grade. All right. So we're at Mark 1, verses 21 and 28. Okay. Now, once again, I'll pose a question to y'all. You ever been knowledgeable about something? So knowledgeable that people kind of wowed at your knowledge? I had a friend named Tim. Well, he's still my friend. And so you give him a year, he can tell you who won the World Series that year. And he can give you some nice details about that game, too. So I was amazed at Tim. 1995, and he can tell me who won the World Series off the top of the head, as long with, some interesting facts. So you ever been knowledgeable about something and people are just kind of in awe? So if you're in a small group or anything, this is a good time to stop the video and discuss that question. So we're going to read. So if you read this passage, we're talking about a dude who is possessed that Jesus took a demon out. Basically, that's what we're talking about. And some of us safe Christians, some safe Christians may not want to talk about this, but we're going to discuss it a little bit, and it's really no big deal. Well, actually, it is. It's a huge deal, is what it is. I mean, someone was possessed by a demon, and Jesus took the demon out. So, in the first verse, what you see was Jesus went to Capernaum. He right away entered synagogue on the Sabbath day, a day of rest. And he started teaching. Well, Jesus started teaching on the Sabbath day, which probably was a big no-no. They said, "Come on, man, you need to rest. That's the law. That's the deal. We got to rest." But Jesus felt like he needed to teach that day. Jesus felt like teaching was very important that day. And if you read this passage, that was very important. We go down to verse 22. And in verse 22, it said they were astonished of his teaching. And it says it's unlike the scribes, it's unlike other teachers we had here. He spoke with authority. And that's why I posed that first question. Have you ever been so knowledgeable about something that people are just astounded? Wow, you can do that? That is... I watched Jeopardy yesterday with my girlfriend. And I got like 3 or 4 questions, right? And I was astounded. How would all these people know all this? And last night, a bartender won. Imagine that, bartender won Jeopardy. He was a smart bartender. But I was astonished with these people knowing all this. This little island in the Mediterranean Sea is called this. I didn't know there was islands. But Jesus spoke with authority. He gained credibility, unlike other people, and they were astonished in verse 22. In verse 23 and 24, this is where it really gets interesting. So a man, and it said a man with an unclean spirit, a demon, if you want to say. In fact, let me see what my footnote says. Oh, it just gives you Luke 11:24, which is probably where this story is also written too. There's another footnote here. Let me read it. Okay. That's not important. But a man with an unclean spirit, was there in the synagogue. Told him, "What are you doing with us, Jesus? Have you come to destroy us?" So, the first reaction is that unclean spirit was scared of Jesus because, oh my gosh, this is God's son. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And I know, and this is probably the demon speaking, the unclean spirit at the time speaking. Do you know you are the Holy One of God? Even, and this just proves there's even demons, even unclean spirits, even Satan himself knows the power of Jesus and knows the power of God like that. So after this was said, the climax, the only thing in these verses that's written in red, the only thing Jesus said, "Be quiet and come out of him!" Exclamation point. Be quiet and come out of him. So Jesus rebuked the man and said that. So this is when it really gets interesting. Verse 26. So the unclean spirit convulsed and shouted a loud voice and came out of him. So imagine being there. Okay, I've seen Exorcists. I've seen weird horror movies and stuff like that. And I've seen weird stuff manufactured. But then now you got a guy who was over there, and then he was convulsing. Imagine being part of that. Imagine seeing that. That's just be weird. I would be freaked out. And so the last 2 verses talk about kind of their reaction. The last 2 verses talked about, they were all amazed. They began to argue with one another, saying, "What is this? A new teaching with authority?" So this is probably the first time, I remember my 9th grade English teacher so well. And the reason I remember Miss Cronin so well, and if anybody from my old high schools remember this, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You walked in the classroom, and you don't mess around in her classroom. She'll tell you who's in charge, and she'll quickly inform you that she was in charge. And so these people are looking at Jesus going, "What is this? He's teaching with authority. He's teaching like he knows what he's talking about. He's teaching like he doesn't care what we think, but he's telling us the truth." Because he commanded that unclean spirit to come out. So 3 footnotes about verse 27 I wrote down is, he teach with authority, he commanded an unclean spirit out of a person, so they obeyed him. Look, anybody can drive an unclean spirit out of someone, I would probably obey him too. Especially when he's the son of God. Oh, sorry, I was waving at a buddy of mine. I'll talk to him in a minute. So, the last verse. And this is how the news of Jesus spread. So after they saw all this, they went around and said something. Now let's admit it, if you saw something like this, when you go around talking about it? I would. I do. You know what I mean? I go around talking about all sorts of things that happened to me. I went to Fenway Park a couple months ago. Let me tell you something, I'm still talking about that experience. That was a great experience. And I'm talking about how I got on a Green Monster, got to step on the field. It was amazing. So these people saw an unclean spirit get driven out of somebody because of Jesus. Wouldn't you go say something? Exactly. So that's all I got today, guys, and I appreciate y'all watching. And remember, the 3 big events this year. Water Day, August 11th, 4 to 8. That's for that's for kindergarten through 5th grade, but older kids, come and join if you want to. There'll be water games and movies, and if we need to do something else, I'll let y'all know as soon as I can. August 18th, Hagerstown Suns game. Meet me at the ticket office at 5:30, and it can be $5 a ticket. And if you come late, pay the whole price, and I'll probably give you $5 anyway, just to say thank you. Bring money for food and stuff if you want to, and sunscreen. And if that gets rained out, it just gets rained out. We're never going to reschedule. This actually is probably the second to last game that team has. And August 19th, guys, I'm pumped. I'm excited. Like I said, got the ping pong table, got the games, got the Xbox ready to go. I'm working on the lesson as we speak. My friend Andy's working on the songs right now. I've got a couple other ladies coming down to help me and just be around. Guys, I'm super pumped about doing a worship service August 19th at 11 o'clock in the tent. I'm so excited about this. This is going to be it's going to be exciting, guys. This is going to be a great time. I look forward to worshiping with anybody 6th through 12th grade down there. Okay. And once again, the ball game is for students 6th through 12th grade as well. All right. And if you need a ride to the ball game, let me know. We can figure something out for you. Okay. All right. Thank y'all. Let me pray, and then I'll talk to y'all later. Okay. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the time we have to open your word and learn a little bit. God, I pray that we can teach others with authority like your son did. I pray that we have the power to do whatever your calling is and whatever you need us to do, Heavenly Father. I thank you so much for this day. I thank you so much for your son. I thank you so much for our opportunity that we have to have fun and worship you. I pray for the students and the teachers going back to school, the administration. Watch over them, protect them this school year. I thank you, God, for all you do. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, guys, take it easy.